So we'll go like in alphabetically. First, let's introduce ourselves and then only the speaker, I guess. And then I will start from Amitabh and go around. Okay, Amitabh, you want to introduce yourself?
Sounds good. Thank you, Sitecore User Group Columbus, to giving me an opportunity to present myself, Amitabh Vyas. 15 plus years in IT, 10 plus years in Sitecore. I'm a 3-time Sitecore MVP, Sitecore Technology MVP, and currently working as a platform architect at Johnson Controls. I'm based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. These are the social media channels. You can reach out to me. I'm on Twitter. This is my LinkedIn profile. I have a technical blog, sitecorecompetencies.com, my personal email ID, and I am on Sitecore Slack and Sitecore Stack Exchange.
Okay. Bala.
Hey everyone, I'm Bala. I'm a practice director with Computer Enterprises Inc. Have 15 plus years, 2 times Sitecore MVP. I'm available on Twitter, Bala1_, and my website is bala.1.
All right, I'll go next. My name is Himadri Chakrabarti. I am a VP of Technology in Nishtech. It's a Cincinnati-based company. I've been working with Sitecore close to 10 years, maybe, and has been awarded as an MVP for 8 times. By the way, MVP application submission date is coming 30th is November is the last date. So we should all submit our application. I've been in the community and in Twitter and I have a blog. I am going to share something from my blog today. So that's me. Maulik.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm Maulik Darji. I have around 16 plus year in IT experience and 12 plus in Sitecore. This is my first time as a Sitecore MVP and I'm enjoying all the time for that. I'm currently working as a technical architect for Altudo. I'm active on social media, my personal email. So everywhere you will find me as a Darji Maulik. And me with Himadri, we are running the Sitecore User Group Columbus. We welcome you to the Sitecore User Group Columbus November session for the post-symposium roundtable. And I'm handing over to Himadri. Thanks.
Well, Amitabh will start. I think he wants to talk about headless SXA. So let's start from there.
Yeah, thanks, Himadri. My topic today is Sitecore 10.3 with a combination of headless SXA. Talking about the symposium roundtable, Sitecore Chief Product Officer Deva Flanagan announced 2 platform offering at the symposium this year. First is all-in-one, which we are doing from last more than a decade now. This is basically for all of the customers who thinks that they are not ready to go composable, they can still be on monolith, have their Sitecore platform upgraded to the recent Sitecore version, which was launched, Sitecore 10.3, which we'll talk about that in a bit. And on the other side, we have the next gen composable DXP platform offerings. There were a couple of new product launches this year. If you see those colored hexagon down below, the blue one belongs to the Content Cloud, the red one belongs to the Engagement Cloud, and the light blue belongs to the Commerce Cloud. So before jumping into the Sitecore 10.3 and headless SXA, I think the first question would be, what would be the right way or the right journey to? Sorry, it looks like I have skipped a slide. Yeah, there you go. Running fast. So Sitecore 10.3 was launched this year, which is available now. If you want to stay on the monolith architecture and have your Sitecore ecosystem upgraded to the latest Sitecore 10.3, that is an option for you now. This is basically for everyone who thinks that those are not ready to go composable. The main focus of Sitecore 10.3 is to making sure that there is a smooth integration between the other Sitecore SaaS solutions, so that it can make the path easy for the customers in the future whenever they are ready to go composable. Because one of the reason is Sitecore 10.3 is the only version so far which would be supporting Next.js. And if we talk about Sitecore XM Cloud, which is a SaaS-based platform, that is also supporting only Next.js so far. So which means that if you are not on Sitecore 10.3 yet, you would not be ready to be migrated to the Sitecore XM Cloud. So that is why it is very important for your environment to be upgraded to Sitecore 10.3, either if you want to be on monolith or if you want to go composable. So when it makes more sense to stay on XP or stay on monolith, and when it makes more sense to start thinking about going on the composable architecture, there were 3 different scenarios which was discussed at Symposium this year. You can stay on XP if you are a new Sitecore customer already on a Sitecore 10 plus versions, and if you have still the mainstream support in hand, maybe like 1 or 2 years or even more. Or if you are using the full-fledged Sitecore XP functionality end-to-end beyond content management, and you don't want to go with the platforms like Sitecore Personalize, Sitecore CDP, or marketing automation, and so on and so forth. And if you belongs to an organization which is still on-premises mode and do not want to migrate their ecosystem even to cloud, forget about a SaaS-based platform, because I have worked on a couple of projects in my past where due to data privacy and security, the customers are very hesitant migrating their ecosystem outside their on-premises environments and so on and so forth. So if you belongs to that type of organization, you can still be on Sitecore XP. On the second end, you don't want to migrate your Sitecore platform to composable, but you want to start utilizing or using those other Sitecore DXP platform which was launched at Sitecore Symposium this year, or which are already there into the market. In that case, you can still be on Sitecore XP, but start using platforms like Sitecore Personalize, Sitecore CDP, and so on and so forth. And plus, if we talk about the new platform offering, Sitecore Search was launched this year, which is another composable DXP platform, which is an AI-driven search, and so on and so forth. So if you don't want to migrate your XP or your XM to cloud, and you don't want to migrate to Sitecore XM Cloud as of yet, you can still be on your monolith architecture in terms of your XP, and start using those next-gen DXP platforms, and so on and so forth. And the third category is especially for the customers who are on a below Sitecore 10 version. Like if you talk about ourselves at Johnson Control, we are on Sitecore 9.2, where the mainstream support is ending December this year. So this is the right time for us or all of the customers who belongs to the same bucket or the category, where we can start thinking about our journey to go composable, and so on and so forth. This is a decision tree which I have created, talking about both type of customers. If you are new to Sitecore or if you are already on Sitecore, what would be your journey to go composable? So the first question is, where are you starting from? Are you a new Sitecore customer and looking for a lightweight headless DXP, where you want to host small website or microsites to your Sitecore ecosystem and do not want any customization to your XM platform? That is the place you can go and opt in Sitecore Content Hub 1, which was a new Sitecore platform launched at Symposium this year. Then you have an option to adopt and choose all of the other DXP platforms. If you are looking for commerce, you have Order Cloud and Discover. If you're looking for marketing automation, you have Sitecore Send. If you're looking for an AI-driven search, you have Sitecore Search. If you're looking for a DAM solution, we We have Sitecore Content Hub. If you're looking for a content strategy and analytics, that is the place we are having the Content Hub operations. On the other hand, if you are an existing Sitecore customer, then there are two questions: which Sitecore version you are on. As I mentioned, if you are already on Sitecore 10.x plus, then your path towards composable is a bit easy. All you need to do is go headless by decoupling your front end from backend using Next.js and start migrating your website to XM Cloud. But if you are on a version below Sitecore 10, and if you think that you are ready to go composable, your first step should be scaling down from your XP to XM. Have your XM upgraded to Sitecore 10.3, and then start building your headless components using Next.js. Once you are there, then the next question comes into the place is what type of personalization you would be looking for a better user experience on your websites. If you're looking for personalization at scale, that is the place you can add Sitecore Personalize as a DXP platform to your architecture. But if you want to start with like a baby steps towards the Sitecore Personalize toward the Sitecore personalization ecosystem, that is the place you can start using the out-of-the-box features provided by XM Cloud, which comes with a predefined retention period of the data. And that is the place that if after having the Sitecore personalization implemented, if you're looking for a 360-degree view of a customer, that is the place you can go and opt for Sitecore CDP. Any questions before I move forward? I take that as no. With the Sitecore 10.3 this year, headless SXA is also launched at Sitecore Symposium. That is basically to bringing all those important features and functionality of Sitecore Experience Accelerator toward headless-based architecture using Next.js only. The reason behind the headless SXA is built on Next.js only because that is the only language so far XM Cloud is supporting. And if you are migrating to XM Cloud, there is an option for you that you can go with an headless SXA, and for that you need to build your front end using Next.js. If we talk about any of the DXP platform, like if we talk about Content Hub, Content Hub 1, and even XM Cloud, Experience Edge is by default part of the ecosystem. So that is the place where you would be building your Next.js and having that hosted on platform like Vercel and so on and so forth. With the headless SXA on Sitecore 10.3, there's one important thing to note is if you talk about the non-headless SXA, which we are using from last 5 to 6 years, it comes bundled with 100+ component which are being installed when you install the vanilla Sitecore SXA on your Sitecore platform. But with headless SXA, rather than going with 100+ component, it is coming with only a dozen of the components which are built on Next.js. But there's always an option to extend or create your own custom components based on the business requirements and so on and so forth. And plus, please don't get confused. If you want to migrate to your, like, if you are using Sitecore SXA, if I talk about my specific case study, we are on Sitecore 9.2 right now using Sitecore SXA 1.9. If we want to migrate to Sitecore 10.3 and don't want to go to headless SXA so far, that is still an option, which means that it is not mandatory to go headless SXA if you want to migrate it to Sitecore 10.3 and so on and so forth. This is my last slide. These are the two important new features which I would like to highlight. Local standard values are something launched with Sitecore 10.3 and headless SXA. We all know what standard values are. Those are being assigned at a template level, but those are applicable to the entire content tree. Local standard value will provide us some features and functionality if we want to define any local standard values at the tenant or the website level. So each websites at each website level, we can define their own standard values, which would be an kind of an override of the standard values which are being defined at the template level. And second is the page branches. That was, I believe, the part of the non-headless SXA as well. But when it comes to the headless SXA, the page branches would be a kind of predefined template, making the life of your content editor easy, where you can predefine the presentation components, the renderings, and also the data layer and the data sources at the field level, using the features like next.js and so on and so forth. That concludes my talk today. I'm open for questions. Else I will pass it on to Bala.
Hey, Amitabh, can you actually go back to your slide?
Give me 1 second.
So the last, but the one.
This one?
Yeah. So in the XP 10.3, the headless SXA is also included, right? I mean, basically they are trying to create a path from XP to like an XM cloud. Do you know, if there is a separate license or anything that will be needed for headless
For
SXA?
I don't think so. I'm not sure, but I don't think there would be a separate license would be required here.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what my understanding is.
So if a client who want to go headless on XP, obviously they will like to use the headless SXA, because headless SXA is more of site management and stuff. So that's a good thing to know, that there is no license required for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing
Thanks.
that recently changed, Himadri, is licensing for JSS and headless SXA was a separate license earlier, but they changed recently. That's part of our normal licensing, so we don't need a separate one. But just to keep in mind, if you already have an XP or XM license, but if you still want to use JSS or SXA, you might need to reach out to the rep to get a modified license, but we're not going to pay anything additional for it.
Thanks. That's one information I needed, actually. Thank you. Yeah.
No problem.
All right. Bala, it's your turn.
Not sharing. Give me 1 moment.
Actually, I had one question.
Sure,
Sure.
Chris. Go ahead.
Since on the page branches, there's going to be like, it sounds like universal page branches. I actually went to Symposium, but I didn't have I was interested in hearing some other people's thoughts on it. With the universal page branches that will be available, will there still be a need to know partial and page designs? Like, today, for example, when I'm a business analyst, so when I'm doing requirements, I try to help the developers by showing potential page designs or partial designs. Will we move away from that concept and just go to these universal page branches?
Well, page and partial designs would still be needed, because that is what you are going to assign at your presentation layer for those page branches, right? And until unless you are going with the concept of rendering variants, that is a place where it's you will still need the page and partial design, but when it comes to the concept of rendering variants, you need not to duplicate them. You just keep on creating those new rendering variants based on your page look and feel and so on and so forth, and you can create your page branches.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Sure.
Just to add another point, like we are using that, and we have the combination of both page branches where we have certain templates that we need to redo every time, and then partial designs and page designs are also being used in the headless side. It helps. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to talk about the Sitecore search. That's something new that was announced in the Sitecore Symposium. don't have a lot of slides here, but I will just quickly go through what are the features and what is it different, and a quick comparison between Coveo and search stacks offerings that could help us give some information on what it's Sitecore offering. Quick introduction here. Sitecore Search is more kind of a V2 version of Reflection. So if you're aware, Reflection is a search company that Sitecore added to their portfolio like a year back, and Sitecore Search is something that they built from the lessons learned from Reflection. So it's a brand new version, but still a lot of features what they have implemented in Sitecore Search would be ported back to the existing Reflection platform. So there's something they built from scratch from the lessons learned from Reflection. So it's an all new platform, not just a rebranded Reflection version of it. The main thing they were focusing on Sitecore Search is like when you come to XM Cloud, it doesn't have CD servers, so they need to give something for search to support, and it does not support Solar either. So the main solution, they want to give some third-party solution. So they want to pitch into this market, and they started with like some basic search to start with. Initially, they are trying to support web crawling, API, and sitemap crawling. So it's not going to be something similar to what we do with Sitecore item level crawling. So whatever you need to have in your search has to be part of your pages on the website. So basically, Sitecore Search can be used for Sitecore or any other platform, just be more generic. So this brings another thing, the site should be publicly available for it to be crawled. So it's not something like a site behind a firewall or something, then Sitecore Search will not be able to crawl it. So these are all like the first initial steps they are starting with, but doesn't mean that it's going to stop here and it will not have other crawling options. This is just where they're getting started. There are a few features that comes inbuilt with the platform, which is like the autocomplete. It has the preview, facets, and personalized results. There are some quick results as well. I can quickly show you a quick demo on that. Initially, to start with, they have a web crawler, which you can point to a website and it can crawl it. They have an API crawler if you have items that you can crawl. And then there is a simple sitemap crawler. So you point it to the sitemap and then it crawls the website. Basically, it's still the unified index. It can be shared between all these things, and it's still not available for public use, but we can quickly see a demo on that. Quick comparison between like how do you position this? Like this is a common question, at least I asked, is how do you position this when comparing it with search stacks or existing Coveo platform? So in this case, I feel like Sitecore Search is just in the early stages, and they are positioning themselves not at the enterprise search level. They are just positioning it more like an entry level. So this would closely go with search stacks, I would say. But still, search stacks has a lot more to offer. But Sitecore Search platform is just brand new, so they are just getting started. Eventually, we will get all those things, but at least autocomplete, AI-based relevance tuning, and a lot of other things which are already available with Reflection. Those kind of things are already available in Sitecore Search. The main drawback I see is only public sites can be crawled and not like an on-prem kind of a thing. And then the second problem is you don't want to hide a lot of metadata on your web page. When you're crawling Sitecore items, we don't use all the items. All the data is not visible on the website, but at least they will be useful when you do the search. But in this case, for example, I need a particular meta description field, then that field has to be hidden in the website so that the crawler can read it. Basically, I just put it in a span and then I kind of hide it for end users, but it still has to be hidden. That's how it can be crawled by Sitecore Search. That is one drawback I see, but they will eventually come up with some Sitecore items level crawler. This particular platform, you can quickly do a search, or like I can show you that, but it is available in sitecore.com/search, and you can see this. This is powered by Sitecore Search if you want to see it yourself. A few things I liked is when you start typing the type head, which is a normal thing, but you also get this data here. So when I started typing XM Cloud, you can see this particular section where a different set of data is being shown, which is relevant to us. And all these, what you see here, all these components are predefined. They call it as widgets. That's how they call it in Reflection. So each one of these widgets can be directly used. So you create a page and you can add these components there and directly use them. So you have the regular relevant sort and all the data is here. And you also get, we get the tags, and you can play with the templates here to see if the data is of this type, then show a different template. And those templates are like a different widgets. I didn't get my hands dirty yet to see, but with the demos and what I've seen, it seems to be more promising. This is just a quote from that thing, from the Sitecore search site. Just picked it up. And that's all I had. If you have any questions related to this, I'm happy to answer.
So Bala, I thought that I heard like, you can actually search restricted content also, in the sense, like at least for the discover, they said, like, if a product that's only some people can see, usually it happens in the B2B side. So if I go and I log in and I search that product, and if I'm allowed to see that, I will see that. But if someone else log in and not allowed to see the product, the search will not bring that product.
Correct.
Isn't that like,
context, right?
Yeah, security context. So although it is a public search, isn't that something that also included in the Sitecore search?
No, it is not. Like the initial version does not include or crawl your Sitecore identities. The main problem is it is crawling only the public facing website. So it doesn't care who you are, but it is just one common index. But if you consider from the reflection aspect of it, once you log in, they know the user context, and all your data that is being pulled is like on the fly. It would decide which part of the marketplace you are and what is your access and things like that, which would also fine tune the results that are coming out of reflection. So that is the main difference between these.
Yeah, I'm kind of like thinking if that's going to be a limitation here, because there are some requirements comes up, like some site that is behind content, some contents are behind the login, and like say certain documents that only you can see after the login, but there are so many contents to see there. Like search will be one way to get to the content. And like if search cannot crawl that and like put it in index, then and use the security context, then that's going to be a problem, right?
Yeah, eventually once they start thinking about security, yes, you're right. A lot of things, at least in Coveo, in the past I've used, is like you can crawl the secured content with like providing your credentials or API key. We would be able to crawl it, and once it is crawled, it becomes public. So at that point of time, you can just show everything to everyone, or you can use your current user context to show what relevant content or if he is having access. So this is something going to happen, but I would say at the moment they don't have it. They're just starting like a bare minimal. And also another thing just want to add is like from the cost aspect also, there was a question around like how expensive is it going to be from the licensing model? But it is also being more like an entry-level model. They said it could be more like you can sign up with a credit card. It can be that simple, or you can start with a trial version that you don't really need like an enterprise licensing. So they want people to use this, and this will also be combination with Content Hub 1, more like the headless entry point. So they're just positioning this closer to Content Hub 1 as your headless CMS, and content search, like the Sitecore search, being more like an entry-level segment that anybody could just get started.
Yeah, it is kind of it's kind of a must for like XM Cloud, right? You do not have any other options but Sitecore search to search your content. Go ahead, Maulik.
Yeah, I think what they like Sitecore search is more like a Google crawl. Google is crawling your website, Sitecore search is crawling your website. It's something like that. One advantage I believe is, I think Bala must have covered that it can crawl multiple websites and display the result from those into a single one.
Yep.
So
The unified index.
that's a good thing. We are still waiting. We are expecting many more things from that. Let's see.
All right. Any other question for Bala?
This is Nazir. I'm very first time I'm joining here. Good to see everyone.
Welcome,
Hey,
Nasir.
Nazir.
Yeah. In this Sitecore search, you are talking about the security thing. It is crawling the complete CD site, right? It's a public
Yes.
site, but still we have an option at the code level. When we are creating a widget, do we need to include the page or an item into the search index or not? Still in that level, we can restrict, and then it could be good with the security, right?
So you're asking about no crawling. So typically what you could do is, or at least what I have done in the past, even with Koyo, is like we will have a meta field that we will say not to crawl, or like a checkbox would say like not to show and such.
Yes.
And then eventually use that in the query filter to not to show.
Correct. Yeah.
I believe
in
if
that
it is
case,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry. Yeah. In that case, we can restrict the items, the similar how we have done in Solar or Azure search, the way we have did. So it is possible, I think. Right. Okay.
But yeah, you can do that.
And one more thing, in other Azure search service or Solar, will be having for all the databases will be indexed, correct? So, but here in the Sitecore search, will it crawl all the master and web? Only web, as you said.
It is like Maulik was mentioning, it's just public facing website, it is crawling. But I believe they should bring, it is not something they cannot do. The APIs are already there. They just need to build that package or something more that you can install on a Sitecore that could crawl your web preview and the master databases. So that is something that will be coming in future. It's not like to start with, they want to do only the public facing websites, but eventually they will have connectors.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Bala. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Any other question? Okay. So let me see. I want to share my screen. All right. So I am going to talk about Order Cloud. So as you know, Sitecore kind of took an approach here in this year, like, they have Content Cloud, Commerce Cloud, and Experience Cloud, and everything is like, cloud is the buzzword. So they have like, number of enhancements that are coming up in the Order Cloud. So this is one slide that actually kind of covers everything. The project affinity. And I was like, quite excited to see this because there are some difficulties we faced and kind of with Order Cloud is that first of all, Order Cloud, Sitecore or Order Cloud talks about that flexibility over feature. So the approach they took from the beginning is that they are going to build a cloud native API first microservice based application, which is not like focus on the feature, but it is going to focus on more on the flexibility of the platform. For example, like they are not looking at when they're building a feature, they are not looking at something like specific to that feature. One example is there are features in e-commerce like wish list or saved order. Okay, so instead of creating a wish list feature or creating a saved order feature, what the way they approach it is actually something they call product collection. Okay, so what they're saying that I'm going to build the product collection, and then you can decide whether you want to build a, like, saved order or wish list. That's up to the implementer. So that's the philosophy. We all like that because it actually provides the flexibility for the platform, but when it comes to actually talk to the client and recommend this platform, they actually look at other platforms and they say, well, this one has, like, a admin portal, but Order Cloud does not have an admin portal. Okay, so Order Cloud's point of view is that implementer is going to build the admin platform. So that means that every client, it is like, a separate implementation, and which is sometimes becomes a challenge to, like, convince the customer that this platform has other things which actually is comparable and good like other platforms. So anyway, so Order Cloud still has that, like, philosophy, that flexibility over feature. They keep building the platform around that. But this symposium, they decided, like, they announced that they are going to actually build a admin portal, which is like, unified commerce management back office. So basically, that's the portal that will be provided, and the client can actually use that portal to manage the back end of the commerce system. Similar to that, they announced that the storefront, unified storefront builder will be created, which will be built on the top of XM Cloud. So, like, that means that if you want to use those storefront template, you need to actually have XM Cloud subscription. And also you need to have the Order Cloud subscription too. So there will be ready-made, like, storefront builder, and then client or implementer doesn't have to start from the scratch. They can actually start from that template and build the storefront quickly. But also the option is available to just use Order Cloud as a API first application and use your own storefront without, like, using a unified storefront builder, which is on XM Cloud. In that case, you do not have to actually subscribe the XM Cloud. In addition to that, there are, like, certain component that Sitecore decided to build, which are not there. It makes sense to build those components because usually those plugins or component will be needed for every solution that we build for our client. For example, like, a tax connector, like a tax plugin. Usually in the commerce system, our customers use, like, Avalara or Bartex. So this kind of plugins repeat for every customer. Or say payment gateway, like, you want to give option to use certain payment gateway. So every commerce implementation need payment gateway. So this kind of component will be provided out of the box. What I think is that order, and the detail of that is not like, we don't have the details yet, how those plugins will look like and how we'll be using that. But I feel like, this will be part of the Order Cloud portal, and then we will be able to customize that. For example, even if you provide the tax plugin for Avalara, there are situations when you have customer who wants to actually customize the plugin. So, in addition to use the plugin out of the box, you should be able to have option to customize that. And I feel like, Order Cloud will go in the direction they are already using, like, using webhooks or something, so that we can actually customize those plugins. Similar to that, there are other connectors that will be created. So this is where the like, the announcement that they made about Sitecore Connect, and Sitecore Connect, as you know, it is built on Workato, and it comes with a lot of connectors already. So some of this connector, it makes sense to build on the Sitecore Connect. So lot of this e-commerce implementation, especially B2B, they actually use the backend systems for order fulfillment. So you need connector for different ERP or PIM system. So those connectors can be like, created by the by implementer and placed into, like, Sitecore Connect. But there are certain connector which are very specific to Sitecore. Is connector that connects Order Cloud, that will connect Order Cloud with other Sitecore product. That Sitecore said that they are going to actually create those connectors. But for example, like, Order Cloud, if it is like, connected to Content Hub, because, like, e-commerce system wants to use the DAM, or e-commerce system wants to use the PCM. So those connectors will be created by Sitecore. But the connectors, like with the ERP or connector to PIM system, this can be, like, there can be different ERPs, like it can be Infor, or it can be SAP, or it can be Oracle. So as needed, the implementers will create those connectors, and I think it makes sense to place those connectors in the Sitecore Connect and use that framework to connect Order Cloud with those connectors. In addition to that, like, Discover is already part of the Order Cloud. So Discover, as you know, is used for intelligent product search. But Sitecore Search will also be involved if, like, if you want to include the content search. By the way, like, every commerce site has some content. So you will need some sort of content management system. If it is content, if it is like, XM cloud, it will make sense to use Sitecore Search for the content search. But I think they said, like, the content search and the Discover will be combined in a way that when search is done, it will also, like, it will bring a product and a combination of product and content together. So that's where the Order Cloud is going. Also, like, one other thing, Order Cloud does have the search already. They have product search, order search, customer search. So I think those functionalities will be there because that can be used in the unified commerce management back office, because admin portal needs to find the product or orders or customers, and that search in Order Cloud will stay, which is Elasticsearch driven, and it doesn't need, like, intelligent search or anything. So so that is staying. Okay. So that's all I had. Any questions? So if there's no question, then Maulik, it's your turn.
Sure. Thanks, Himadri. It was a nice one to know about Order Cloud. It's always a confusing one where we talk about the search, which search is converting into Sitecore search. It's a discover or a reflection. Now, reflection, we thought it's related to Order Cloud, basically commerce. So we thought it will be working with Order Cloud, or you said it is coming with Discover? Order
Yeah,
Cloud
it
as a
is.
Discover?
Well, it is still a separate SKU. Like, you still have to actually subscribe the Discover. But like, they are not proposing that you build your search based on just Order Cloud search, because Discover provides so much more that it is advisable to use Discover. But you can still use the Order Cloud search, which will not be as good as, like, Discover.
Other search, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I think we have a few minutes left. I can start with one case. I believe I close this. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about Sitecore XM Cloud. One of the hot topic and one of the most discussed as well. So not going to cover a lot of things in that. Quickly give you my introduction. My name is Maulik Darji, working as a technical architect at Altudo, and have been working on Sitecore since 12 plus years. You can reach me on Twitter, LinkedIn. Also, I have a WordPress, plus I am a co-organizer of SUG Columbus with Himadri. And I also manage Twitter and YouTube for SUG Columbus. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe our YouTube channel. Just one thing, Himadri, I noticed, it's been 1.5 years we have started SUG Columbus, and today we have reached 199 members. So we are just short of one member of 200, and that is in 1.5 years. That's a good achievement for us.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you.
So XM Cloud. People say that it's a cutting edge content management. You can rapidly create and launch personalized experience and optimize it with A/B testing. Lightning fast performances. So when you are working on XM Cloud, it is very much fast to install. Plus, it is very much fast to develop and deploy. You can use the front-end technologies like Next, React, etc. So it is very fast deployed. It is completely headless architecture. So performance wise, it gives a very high rating on Google Lighthouse scores. People have been saying a lot good things about that. When it comes to global scale and flexibility, it's on cloud, so you can deploy on any geographic region, and it is available much faster. It can be delivered everywhere to thousands of different touch points, unlimited languages, whichever you implement, it is available anywhere. It's available through API calls. So whether it's your website or mobile or any kiosk or anywhere, you will be able to access it very fast. For developers, you can work with modern frameworks, you can work with DevOps, all the workflows. So everything is much more easily available, much faster to implement. So developer also loves that. And for marketers, XM Cloud does include some out-of-the-box tools, user-friendly tools, and very easy to follow workflows. So that way, marketers can easily create and manage content without coming back to developers. It's not very complex scenario. And most important one, where everyone said that how about security? So everything is API based. So your access is through HTTPS, and you can protect the APIs with authentication using OAuth. So that is one very simple, fast, easy way to implement. You must have seen many demos given by Sitecore teams. XM Cloud demos are also available to few people. I got a chance to work on that. Not going to show that right now, but maybe in future. So basically, XM Cloud provides a next-gen visual authoring. You can drag and drop, publish. That is available with XM Cloud. It's basically based off both worlds. Marketer gets a nice experience, nice tools to work upon. Those are something similar to WYSIWYG tools. So it's very easy for them to work. And for developers, all the flexibility. It's a headless architecture, so they get a lot of flexibility on the development. If we talk about the XM Cloud testing, XM Cloud has integrated A/B testing, and personalization is also included in that. So it's very simple, easy to optimize experience and increase the content relevance for different segments and different segments of visitors and customers. So this is everything based on a real-time XDB databases, analytics. So yeah, the A/B testing and personalization is available in XM Cloud. And nowadays the buzzword Jamstack. So yeah, XM Cloud is Jamstack ready. You have the experience manager, that is your CM environment. And what is your production environment? So production environment is your choice of modern technology like React, Next. You can develop, publish it. It is deployed on Vercel. So it's very simple and easy to work upon. I'm very much looking forward to that. And as many people have seen XM Cloud, so I'm not going to cover much more. I'll keep some time for everyone. And also we are top of the hours, very close to top of, yeah, we have reached our 1 hour mark. So I can open on questions if there is anything.
Maulik, you mentioned React for XM Cloud. Is that an option? Per my understanding, the Next.js is the only one which is being supported by the XM Cloud as of today, right?
I have heard of that during the symposium discussion. Somewhere I've heard that, yeah, platform technology wise, Next.js and React is also coming. So that's why I'm thinking, I haven't got a chance, frankly speaking, I haven't got a chance to work upon XM Cloud yet. I'm very much looking forward to that. But if it is coming with Next.js and React, it will have a much like wide audience coming to XM Cloud very easily.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think if you want to use React, I think it's probably easier to use Next.js as a meta framework. You can create Jamstack or not Jamstack. It's up to you, right? I think the challenge is the other frameworks like Angular and Vue, which they have not created anything. But I feel like you can still use it because it's like API first anyway. It's just that you have to actually build your own on that way.
So I'm thinking about in a way like, say, for example, currently on our Sitecore environment, we are using Sitecore headless, basically the Sitecore JSS. And we are using the React or Angular. It should be like that. I haven't seen the underline the technology for that for XM Cloud. So if it is working for Next.js, it should be working for React as well. And maybe we can utilize for Angular and Vue.js as well as a headless architecture.
Yeah. We are over
there is no
time.
doubt it will not work. The problem is they don't have the starter kits to get started.
Yep.
So they just have a starter kit with Next.
Yep. That's the only challenge. So okay, we are 2 minutes over, but I will just open it up for if there is any question. Otherwise, we will close it. Thank you, everyone, on behalf from Columbus Sitecore user group. Thanks the speakers to present today, and everyone else. Thank you, and have a nice Thanksgiving weekend. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for inviting.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks,
It was really